आयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं नमयों विष्णुपादाय श्रीगौरप्रियमूर्तये श्रीमते भक्तिवल्लभतीर्थगोस्वामी नामिने कृपया क्षमतामपराधिजनं खलु शायुतशक्तसुदीननरं सुपथे परिचालय सर्वदिनं प्रणमामि च माधवदेवपदम् वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ग्रंथेर आरंभे करि मंगलाचरण गुरु वैष्णव भगवान तीनेर स्मरणे होय विघ्न विनाशन अनायासे होय निज वांछित पूरण। Hari bol. When did you come?
On the fifth morning.
Fifth morning. You are keeping okay? Your throat is. You have some.
Yeah, I just have a little scratching.
Okay. Your health is okay?
I got a little sick, but not.
No, you're okay.
She just recovered too.
Oh, okay. Okay. So today is auspicious day. Today is the disappearance day of one of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur. His name is Tridandi Swami Shri Srimad Bhakti Kamal Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj. Today is his disappearance day. And tomorrow is Shayana Ekadashi. Shayana means sleep. Shayana Ekadashi, on this Ekadashi, starting on this Ekadashi, Vishnu is sleeping. So that's why it's called Shayana Ekadashi. So Vishnu is performing the pastimes of sleep. Actually, if Vishnu is sleeping, then what will happen to the world? But he is performing the pastimes of sleeping. And he sleeps for 4 months. Again on the Utthana Ekadashi. The meaning of Utthana is to wake up. So Utthana Ekadashi is the Ekadashi on which the Lord wakes up. So he is sleeping for 4 months. And in between, after 2 months, there is Ekadashi that's called Parshva Parivartan. Parshva Parivartan means change of sides. He is changing one side to another side. First he is sleeping like this, second he is turning over and sleeping like this. Because if you sleep for a long time, then your hand will be hurt, isn't it? But for Vishnu it is not like that. Vishnu is supreme. But he is just making some movements to give pleasure to the devotees. So These 4 months, the Vaishnavas observe Chaturmasya Vrata. Vrata means vow. They observe Chaturmasya Vrata, the vow of, a particular vow of not eating certain, food items, and principally the vow of chanting more. Because there are different ways of observing vow. You can give up certain things. It is actually during a vrata, when we are observing any vrata or vow, then we should give up certain things, not eat, abstain from eating certain things for our own purification. I like certain things very much, we should try to give up that, because we should not enjoy. Vrata means what? Vow means what? Vow means to not enjoy. So, some observe starting from Ekadashi tomorrow, particularly Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math, the members of Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math observe from Ekadashi day, because it is written in Hari Bhakti Vilas that this vrata can be started on any day. It can be started on Ekadashi, it can be started on Dwadashi, or on Purnima. Purnima is our Guru Purnima, the coming Purnima is Guru Purnima. So, any of these 3 tithis, this vow can be started. But Hari Bhakti Vilas further states, among others, starting observation of this vrata on Ekadashi is more preferred. It is said that observing Ekadashi, observing the Chaturmasya vrata, beginning from Ekadashi is supreme, is better. But on any other 3 tithis, the 4th tithi also there is mention of it, that is called Sankranti. Sankranti means it's a mixture of 2 particular tithis. Okay, it can also start from that particular Sankranti. But now Vaishnavas observe on any of these 3, either on Ekadashi or Dwadashi or on Purnima. Purnima is a full moon day. But as I said earlier, the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math, or followers of Param Gurudev Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhav Goswami Maharaj and Srila Gurudev Bhakti Vallabh Tirtha Goswami Maharaj, we observe starting from tomorrow. There are certain food restrictions, not eat this, like tomatoes and bottle gourd and brinjal, potal, brinjals. Loki is the bottle gourd, no? They call it bottle gourd, right?
I don't know. I don't know.
Huh?
Bottle gourd.
Yeah.
Bottle gourd.
Yeah, Loki. And there are certain things that are prohibited to eat in these 4 months. In the first month, we don't eat shak, means the leafy vegetables. Second month, we don't eat yogurt. Third month, we don't eat milk, drink rather, not eat. And the fourth, we will refrain from all delicious palatable dishes. That is the Kartik Vrata. Of course, we don't eat the mustard seeds. We don't eat urad dal. What's it called in English? I don't know. Urad dal.
Black lentils.
Black lentils. Yeah, black lentils. And then mustards. Any mustard product, mustard oil, mustard seeds. None of these things are eaten. Hing, asafoetida, is also not consumed on this particular day. Particularly in the 4th month, that is Kartika.
I never heard that one.
Yes.
Okay.
And you should also refrain from eating, I think it's not applicable to you, but for Indians, you should not eat pickles. It's not applicable to you devotees, because you anyway don't prefer eating pickles.
I must be an Indian.
So, pickle, don't worry, she doesn't know what is pickle, don't worry. So, anyway, these are list of prohibitions not to be eaten. But as I already said before, what is more important is to do more bhajan. What gives more pleasure to Supreme Lord is to, perform bhajan. If we are not able to follow these dietary restrictions during these 4 months, no problem. At least chant more, engage more in devotional service. If we do this as per the order of our previous acharyas, it will be beneficial for us. Otherwise, they wouldn't have told this. But for some reason, it becomes difficult for us to follow. It's better at least we do the chanting process more, service process more. That will be purificatory. These things will assist. By observing a penance or a vow, nobody is going to attain Supreme Lord. It's only by chanting the holy name one can get Supreme Lord. But these auxiliary things, they are only assisting us, means eating palatable dishes and sleeping nicely, and then lot of enjoyment. Then our belly, the tongue, these things will be more and more thinking and contemplating about this. Therefore, better refrain from these things and engage more in Hari Bhajan. And also, tomorrow our most revered Shiksha Guru, Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharti Maharaj's appearance also tomorrow is there. So, you people have got invitation probably. I am inviting from their behalf. That, in Pujapad Bharti Maharaj's, Samadhi, there is a, Hari Katha festival tomorrow and Prasad festival day after tomorrow. Tomorrow also Prasad is there, but it's Ekadashi Prasad. And day after tomorrow there will be Mahaprasad, Grand Feast Prasad. Is that correct?
Yeah, but Verdun told me he's going to try to do cheese dinner tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Okay, so anyway, both days it will be observed. So I'm not very sure whether I can attend tomorrow because I have some service to perform here tomorrow. So I'm not sure I'll be able to attend tomorrow, but I'll try to take his blessings day after tomorrow. So today is Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's disciple, Srila Bhakti Kamal Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj disappearance. We will hear some of his pastimes that is written in Swaparshat Prabhupada. First I will read his pranam mantra. Om Namo Vishnupadaya Saraswati Priyaya Cha Shri Bhakti Kamalaya Madhusudanaya Te Namaha Shri Rupanugavarjaya Gauraprishthaya Bhutale Madhusudana Padmangri Vigrahaya Namostute Deva Shri Krishna Chaitanya Karunaya Vartmane Shri Krishna Nama Mahatmya Guru Bhakti Pracharine Govinda Pada Padma Shri Madhuryaswada Karine Gadadhara Priyankara Gaura Bhakti Swarupine Bhakti Shakti Swarupaya Bhakti Vinoda Karine Madhurya Garima Bhakti Kamalaya Namostute Krishna Chaitanya Mandira Prakashaka Varayacha Srimad Bhagavatacharya Gurave Prabhave Namaha. Srila Bhakti Kamal Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj advented in 1901 AD in Faridpur district in Bangladesh. The current day Bangladesh, those days it was East Bengal. Now we are in West Bengal. Those days it was East Bengal. So now it is Bangladesh. In 1974 we had the partition and then it became Bangladesh. So 1901, on the 19th of December, Srila Maharaj appeared. It is on the 9th day of the bright fortnight, 6:15 in the morning, he made his appearance. And he took birth in a very aristocratic Brahminical family. His father's name is Sri Parvati Nath and mother's name is Srimati Swarnamayi Devi. And right from his childhood, he was very devoted towards the worship of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, and that was very natural. It was not like taught to him. He had got a natural inclination to worship Lord Vishnu. He was very simple, detached from material things, and attracting means his body complexion as well as his nature was such that everyone used to get attracted to him. His father, he named him Sri Nripendra Sanyal. His childhood name was Sri Nripendra Sanyal. In 1921, he came to Calcutta. Before that, he underwent his schooling in Bangladesh, where he took birth. And 1921, he came to Calcutta, and then he got admitted into CT College for his higher studies. After completing his, graduation, in 1925, he became the joint editor of the daily newspaper Ananda Bazar Patrika. The daily newspaper Ananda Bazar Patrika, he was the joint editor of that particular newspaper, because this Ananda Bazar Patrika is a very old newspaper, and still continuing, is one of the majorly read newspaper in Bengal. It's one of the many persons prefer reading this paper in Bengal. So he was the joint editor in those days. Now, in order to, as a chief editor, as a joint editor and of a newspaper, he would go from place to place to collect some news, to write articles, etc. In 1925, the same year he joined in as an editor, the same year he got an opportunity to go to Bagbazar Gaudiya Math, where Srila Prabhupada had presented he had so many exhibits in which he was presenting about the modern Brahmanas' greed for money, how in the name of the Lord's service they are making a business. So all these, as per the current language, trending topics. So the trending topics of those days were, presented by Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in the diorama. And in order to cover that event, he went there, and then that is where he got an opportunity to meet Srila Prabhupada and listen Harikatha from him. You see, in what way the pure devotees attract. He went to collect some news, but this is all, it's like, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was planning to go to Vrindavan, but he went to Ramkeli Gram to meet Rup Sanatan. That doesn't come on the way, but he went to Ramkeli in order to meet Rup Sanatan. But this is all, the Lord and his devotees, they are eternally together. But when they come to this material world, they exhibit such pastimes in order to show to all of us that how a union of the devotees, or I can say reunion of the devotees, how much blissful it is, and what kind of special feelings it brings. Because as soon as Sri Nripendra Sanyal, he met Prabhupada, immediately, he got a different kind of a feeling within his heart, and his going to that place became very regular, because he got an opportunity to hear Harikatha from him. That attracted. We are hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam every day that Harikatha is the only one that is required for us to become advanced to the platform of Prema Bhakti. Unless until we have no attachment to Harikatha, listening of Harikatha, we cannot aspire for Prema Bhakti. Narada, through his own personal life, he is telling to all of us, serving the sadhus, eating their remnants, getting their mercy, and then they showered their mercy upon them by giving divine knowledge, and then his inclination to hear Harikatha, his attentiveness, fondness for Harikatha, then ultimately raga, attachment, greed that got developed. And after that, Prema Bhakti awakened. So, Shravana and Kirtana, hearing of Harikatha and speaking the glories of Hari. These are the principal forms of devotion. Principal form, fundamental as well as all up to Goloka. It's not like, oh, these are the foundation and then after that they are not there. No, they are the foundation, they are there in the building, they are there on the roof, and they are everything. Without that, there is no, without Shravana Kirtan, there is no building of Krishna Bhakti. It's everything, all over the building. So, Nripendra Sanyal, he got attracted to Prabhupada's Harikatha, and then after 4 years, in 1929, he had given up everything. He was an editor in, a very, the leading newspaper in Calcutta or in entire Bengal, not only Calcutta, East Bengal, West Bengal, the entire Bengal. It was a leading newspaper. He left a very, designated post, and then he had accepted the to become a full-time mendicant in the Prabhupada's ashram. And very soon, realizing his qualities, his enthusiasm for Hari Bhajan, and his nature of carrying the order of the senior Vaishnavas and Guru, Srila Prabhupada was the first to understand his special qualities, unique qualities, and then he used to send Nripendra Sanyal, yes, he was named as Narottamananda Brahmachari. He was named Narottamananda Brahmachari. He was sent with different sannyasis on preaching tour. He was also sent to Bombay. Where he was one of the preachers. Prabhupada asked him to stay in Bombay. Mr. MP engineer, there was one MP engineer, he was the one who had, expressed a desire to have a Gaudiya Math in Bombay, because he heard Harikatha from Sri Sridhar Goswami Maharaj and also from our Param Gurudev in Chennai. Means those days Madras, the current day Chennai. Who is there? The current day Chennai. So when he heard Harikatha there, he got attracted, and of course the temple was also constructed. So when these Gaudiya Math devotees, when they came to Bombay, MP engineer, he immediately told that I have a desire that you construct a temple here also. Then Prabhupada, he asked, Narottamananda Brahmachari, can you stay here for few days and do the preaching? Then he told, yes, Gurudev, it's your order. Whatever you order, I shall immediately carry that. He stayed there, and Prabhupada, he sent 12 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam to him. He has written the name of Narottamananda Brahmachari, and then he had sent all the 12 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam, and he told that you preach Srimad Bhagavatam. Starting from that day, Srila Maharaj, who later became Maharaj, he had never stopped the preaching of Bhagavad Katha. Every day he would go through Srimad Bhagavat and he would preach Srimad Bhagavat right up to his last breath in this material world. Because he took this as a direct order of Srila Prabhupada. Not like, when I'm in Bombay, this is the order to me, but this is an order for my eternal life in this manner. So, he stayed there for several days, and then he used to speak on Srimad Bhagavatam, and then later Srila Prabhupada in Navadvipa Dham Pracharini Sabha, every year annually when there is Navadvip Dham circumambulation, at that time Prabhupada used to give certificates to the persons who are advanced, who are doing nice service activities to the mutt. And Narottamananda Brahmachari was given the title Bhakti Kamal. He was seeing his enthusiasm in preaching activities. He is given the title Bhakti Kamal. Kamal means lotus, Bhakti means devotion. He is the lotus of devotion. So in this manner, Prabhupada had given him the title. Later, Prabhupada had sent him to, from Bombay, he was sent to New Delhi for preaching activities. From New Delhi, he was sent to Patna. There he preached. Wherever he went, he preached Bhagavat. From Patna, he was sent to Prayag. From Prayag to Gaya. Various places he was traveling and then preaching. It was in Gaya that he heard Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has left the planet. In 1936 or 1937, 1st January, Prabhupada exhibited the pastimes of leaving this planet. So he immediately rushed to Mayapur to participate in the final rites of Srila Prabhupada, which was, heartbreaking to all the followers of Srila Prabhupada. It was a very heartbreaking, incident where Prabhupada had left all his followers in a separation grief. Now, after Prabhupada disappeared, whoever was, taking care of the mutt's activities, missionary activities, he had ordered Narottamananda Brahmachari to go to Kovur in Andhra Pradesh. Kovur is the place where Rai Ramananda and Mahaprabhu had discussion about the highest prayojana, what is the topmost goal. So it is at that place a mutt was established. So he was asked to go there, and then he went there. After a few months, he was sent to Madras. Basically, his preaching was so sweet and was so attractive that he was being sent to several places from the times of Prabhupada itself. And his knowledge of English was very profound, because he was an editor in those days. So of course he was an editor of a Bengali newspaper, but his English skills were also very expert in English. So he would speak like in Bombay and other places where special dignitaries used to attend. He used to speak in English for them. So in this manner he was sent to several places. But then after few years in Chaitanya Math, there was some turmoil, there was some chaos that has happened by the will of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Many disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they could not stay together. They had, moved to different places. And our Narottamananda Brahmachari, he moved to Devananda Gaudiya Math in Navadvip Dham. He moved to that place, and together with Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, he traveled to several places and then he preached the message of Bhagavad Dharma. For a few years it continued. It is Narottamananda Brahmachari, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, and another Paramhams Maharaj. All three of them, they used to, preach. Together they used to preach after the disappearance of Srila Prabhupada. And of course, Srila Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj also had established his own mutt. In this manner, slowly, some disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they had come out of Chaitanya Mutt, and then slowly they started constructing. It is actually Srila Bhakti Daita Madhav Goswami Maharaj who was the last to come out of Srila Chaitanya Mutt, Sri Chaitanya Mutt, because it was the order of our Param Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Daita Madhav Goswami Maharaj, that whatever troubles we may get in the process of serving the deities, he has instructed his disciples like this. We might be getting so many troubles while performing the service of the deities, but remember that these are the favorite deities of Srila Prabhupada. Wherever Prabhupada had established the deities, they are all his favorite deities. Therefore, if we want to serve Prabhupada, by rendering service to those deities installed by Srila Prabhupada, it will be very pleasing to him. We might get some troubles. The authorities in the mutt, they may not like our presence, but our objective is to please Prabhupada. Unless until the mutt authorities drive you out of the mutt, till that point you go on performing the service. Just tolerate. This was the instruction our Param Gurudev Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhav Goswami Maharaj had given to his disciples. There were so many troubles that came on the way, but it is our Param Gurudev's express order that you should not leave the service of, the deities installed by Srila Prabhupada. And our Param Gurudev himself had to forbear so many blames, blasphemies. Amidst so many things, he would not share any of these things to his disciples. He was the lone fighter, because he wanted that somehow everyone should get united in Chaitanya Math. He fought for this until his last possible extent. But when he saw that things are totally disarrayed, it's completely beyond control, then that is the point. And to the extent that the blame started to come upon the disciples of Param Gurudev also, then he made a decision that I think for those who have taken shelter of me, for their safety, not for his safety, for their safety, he had come out of the mud. But anyway, that's a different story. But now, coming back to this Maharaj, so Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, Sri Narottamananda Das Brahmachari Prabhu and Paramhams Maharaj, they were preaching together, but some disturbance has happened there also, so he had to move out of that mutt. And it is again our most revered Param Gurudev Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhav Goswami Maharaj who was the mediator, who came there and then he mediated and he told that this mutt should be exclusively under the leadership of Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. He should, because he has got so many sannyasi disciples, he has got so many other disciples, this should be exclusively for, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. If there are some, misunderstandings and miscommunications, you should be leaving to some other place. And Srila Bhakti Vedanta Trivikram Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, both of them came to Devananda Math or Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj by the preaching efforts of Narottamananda Brahmachari Prabhu. By the preaching efforts of Narottamananda Brahmachari, that is Bhakti Kamal Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj, they had come and they had taken shelter of Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. Such a preacher he was, means contribution to Gaudiya organization. So later our Param Gurudev, he mediated and he told to Bhakti Kamal Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj that I shall give you land in Mayapur, I shall facilitate you to construct a proper mutt in Mayapur. And then Param Gurudev kept his promise. He gave the land, he gave the money also, he helped him in whatever way he could, in whatever way Madhusudan Maharaj wanted, and a mutt is established in Mayapur. Also in Vardhaman, he has another mutt. He named it as Krishna Chaitanya Mutt, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mutt. So he has centers principally in 3-4 places only, not several places. One is Mayapur, Calcutta, and in Vardhaman. These are 3 places he has got the mutt. And he, as I previously said, he was preaching Bhagavat all through his life, Srimad Bhagavat. Wherever he went, he was only preaching the message of Srimad Bhagavat. And one of the unique qualities, or you can say one of the principal qualities that Srila Bhakti Kamal was, he received sannyas from Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj. I think in 1952 or something like that, he received 62. No, 58. He received sannyas from Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, and Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj had took he had taken the title Bhakti Kamal from what he got through Prabhupada, and then Madhusudan, Bhakti Kamal Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj. Since then he preached Krishna Bhakti, he had established various mutts, and then one of the principal qualities or the unique qualities that Srila Bhakti Kamal Madhusudan Maharaj had got was he was a very, very strict person. Very strict in his behavior, and anyone doing any wrong, he would immediately chastise that person. Zero tolerance when any mischievous activity is done. That was, Srila Bhakti Kamal Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj. One of the example given here is that one time Maharaj has gone to Vardhaman for preaching activity. Barhampur. He went to that place for preaching activity, and it was a Purnima. Purnima means full moon day. The brahmacharis, the sannyasis, they are supposed to shave their heads on the Purnima day. But there are few brahmacharis who doesn't want to do that. It has been going on since that time, not only this not only this period, but from that period also this is there. That certain people, they have got attachment to the hair, so they don't want to get their hair shaved. So Bhakti Kamal Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj, what he did, he was in the along with him in the preaching program. He told that just now get out of the place. If you don't want to shave your head, just get out of this place. Not only he said that get out of the place, he telephoned all the mutts. If this brahmachari is coming, don't give him shelter. He should not be entered into the mutt. And means that brahmachari is obliged to follow the mutt's rules if he wants to stay in the mutt. Means there cannot be a brahmachari cannot act independently, because this independence is our greatest enemy. Because we want to become independent enjoyers, we have come from Supreme Lord. Means we have come to this material world because we want to become independent enjoyers. If even after coming to mutt we want to carry our independent ideas, opinions, thoughts, then what kind of surrender have we accepted? Krishna Bhakti means Sharanagati, surrender. Surrender means whatever Guru, Vaishnava's order, doing it. That is Sharanagati. But if I carry my independent opinion or independent desire, then it will not make me a devotee. So if it is encouraged, then it will not be beneficial. Therefore, our, Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj, he used to have zero tolerance to this. Immediately such person would be chastised. So in this manner, there are several such strict rules he would follow, because see, the importance of the rules is not that by perfecting in rules we will get Supreme Lord. Not that if I get my head shaved on Purnima I will get Supreme Lord, and if I don't get shaved then Supreme Lord is not happy. No. Just by shaving head, if Supreme Lord is attained, everyone will shave the head. Isn't it? Won't you? Won't you? Yes.
I have.
If just by shaving head, if one can get Supreme Lord, everyone will do it. Who will not? That's the easiest thing. Chant, very difficult. Shaving head, very easy. Everyone would want to do it. But this is a discipline. It is to become dependent upon the order of Hariguru Vaishnavas. That is the purpose. If you cannot even follow this basic order of a Vaishnava, then what kind of advancement are we going to make in Hari Bhajan? So it is not by following rules, or if it is not by, or it is not by getting perfected in following rules, one will get Supreme Lord. But what is the underlying thing is the following the order of the Vaishnavas. That is more important. So if we do that, then Supreme Lord will be pleased. This is what our Maharaj had, specifically giving, instruction, and he was very particular in getting these rules and regulations followed. You see, any little leniency given, it will actually slowly give way to a lot of leniency. Any rule, I have seen in my own life, everyone has experienced probably, You will say, okay, today I am very tired, let me chant 4 rounds less, less than the other days. You take leniency one day, and then it will continue. Again, that, your mind will give reasons. Oh, today I can chant 6 rounds less. Because that will only increase. Therefore, leniency or taking a certain thing for granted so easily, or you can say contempt, in Hari Bhajan is not good. You should not be satisfied in Hari Bhajan. Just like we are not satisfied by enjoying sense organs, in a similar manner, we should not be satisfied by performing bhajan. Oh, I'm done. No. You should have more greed. I haven't done anything. I want to do more. This greed should be there. Contempt is not good in Hari Bhajan. So, because any leniency, the mind is always looking for leniency. He is a very good expert lawyer. Our mind is a very good advocate. Isn't it? Even the lawyers, great lawyers in the courtroom, they will fail, but our mind is so expert that he can, trash you through its logic. That, oh no, you should take rest, only if you take rest you can perform Hari Bhajan. He will convince you so nicely that, you fall flat for it. Anyway, that's why there should not be any leniency given. That's why rules and regulations are important. They are not very important, but they are important. So, Srila Bhakti Kamal Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj, in 1991, on the 20th of July, on this particular tithi, afternoon 3 hours 35 minutes, he has made his disappearance from this material world to enter back into the eternal pastimes of Radha Krishna. So, today is his disappearance day. We pray at his lotus feet that whatever offenses that we might have committed unto him, knowingly or unknowingly, may he free us from all those offenses and give us the opportunity to serve his dearmost object of worship. His non-different incarnation, our most revered Srila Gurudev, whatever offenses we might have committed or I might have committed at his lotus feet, knowingly or unknowingly, may he free me from all those offenses and give me his service, lotus feet service, birth after birth. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan Panchatattvatmak Shri Gaura Hari ki jai. जय परमाराधितम पतित पावन स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति वल्लभ तीर्थ गोस्वामी श्री गुरु महाराज की जय. नित्य लीला प्रविष्टों विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति दयित माधव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. जगत गुरु श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की जय. श्री श्री रूपानुग गुरु वर्ग की जय. श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. सर्वविघ्न विनाशनकारी भक्तवत्सल भगवान श्री सिंहदेव की जय. भक्त प्रवर श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय. जय नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट अष्टोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति कमल मधुसूदन गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. तदीय शुभ तिरोभाव तिथि पूजा की जय. समागत हरि कथा श्रवणकारी भक्त वृंद की जय. निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल.